Folks, hello. We are live. Welcome to Gamers Hell. Ooh. No, I'm not doing spooky Gamers Hell because that would have been Halloween. I think we passed that. But
Maybe for next year.
maybe for next year we'll do spooky Gamers Hell. I am Eric Tenkar, your bartender in the OSR. With me, as every Saturday night, is my better half, the one, the only, Rachel. Let me see if I can
I don't know.
adjust the angle of the screen to get more Rachel and less me. Which is always important to get more Rachel and less me. So, we do have a topic for tonight. It's about denial and different aspects of denial, different forms of denial.
Right. So why don't we talk about sort of the?
Well, we don't have to get into it yet.
Oh, okay.
I think usually we
I was sort of like ready to go.
she's like, I'm all ready to punch it out. I'm gonna get there, and I'm gonna.
I know.
I'll give you
a stage for it.
I'll give you denial, right? And you know you. So in any case, no, we're gonna go. We'll do what we normally. I think our unofficial official format is we go through the.
Okay, we tell about our appointments and yada yada.
Yeah, our updates. I think I'm gonna start with our Gardyn is doing awesome. So if Rachel's laughing because I've been
vibrating the flowers.
I've been vibrating the flowers fairly frequently. Once, twice a day, I vibrate I gotta vibrate them today. Oh my god, I haven't.
That's the first thing you do when we leave here.
I know. When I get up from here, I'm gonna vibrate the flowers. We have probably about 24 flowers for tomatoes. Tomatoes do not get pollinated by bees. Apparently, they get pollinated by wind, and aside from my hiney, there's no wind in this household. So I got to use a little vibrating.
It's like a bumblebee on the end of a little. I was about to say shaft.
You ruined one denial joke. A river in Egypt. I'm sorry, Tom. I'm just. It's a top. It's going to be the topic for later on in this episode. We're going to get there, but our Gardyn is doing awesome. So we've harvested lettuce a number of days, but today's another day where we had our dinner was a nice little salad from the various lettuces, and we're going to be probably gone for a few days. And I've already told my mother that she should help herself to harvesting.
Yeah.
She knows how to do so without. You harvest about, a third to a half of the leaves from the outer side, and we've got basil coming out like you wouldn't believe. I put fresh basil on one of Rachel's dinner last night.
Yeah, it was awesome.
So we're having a lot of fun with it.
Oh, when they get the Mexican mix, we'll grab some of that cilantro.
Oh yeah, and we can make mojitos.
Yeah, when we order those burrito bowls, like with the lettuce and the fajita veggies.
Yeah, so we're having a lot of fun with the strawberries that we got. Oh my god, it's like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
the strawberries are doing really well. We got the first blossoms on the strawberry plants. This is weird talking about this in December, isn't it? Interestingly enough, Tammy, we each play this on our own subscriptions on our laptop and then play the sound from the TV with Tabletop Tap Room, and the TV always plays 2 commercials before you come on.
Aww.
We're 2 commercials. I don't think we never even monetized. I mean, that's the
How are they putting their commercials?
And we'll try. We're limited.
They're exploiters.
Limited monetization because we're talking about health issues, and
and we just might say something that might not fit the agenda.
So
but probably not.
Yeah, well, you never know with us. We go all over the place. We're like off-roading all the time. So we could end up anywhere. We could be talking about stuff that YouTube makes money on everything. I know that. That's They never lose. They're like Vegas, right? Vegas will always make a profit. The casino will always make a profit. They could give away $1 million jackpot, and they're like, "Ha ha, we still made a profit." But So we're having a lot of fun though with our Gardyn. And I have to add another gallon of water tonight too. That's
yes.
Right.
So that your mother can harvest not crunchy leaves.
Then it's got plenty of water, but it holds 5 gallons. It's at 4 right now. I have the great sensor.
But they drink a lot.
They drink a lot. We're gonna come back from the Poconos with like warnings. Your water level is getting low. Feed me, Seymour. But we spent today setting up the Christmas lights outdoors. We started a little bit yesterday, but we did shopping yesterday. We did
I set up the Christmas tree like maybe Thursday.
Yeah, the one behind us.
Yeah.
But oh God, I love these. It's giving me a thumbs up. So but that distracted me. The thumbs up. We got these infinity lights. So we have 2 Christmas trees in the bay window for the front on the first floor, and a string of candy
canes going over, and infinity is like
it's like looking into an infinite mirror type of deal.
Yeah, so the lights just go on and on and on inside.
Yeah, it is.
It's really cool.
It is awesome.
We'll have to see if we can take pictures and something.
Okay. Post them. We can do that for next week. I like that idea.
Yeah.
So, RPG Grandma, I found some cheap solar big bulbs for the front yard tree. Oh, damn. All right. So we got small solar. We got the regular, twinkly lights on the front railing.
There's solar on the front.
Mm-hmm. Front railing. The railings going up the stairs, the top half of that has battery powered little lights. We have snowflake sparklers.
Yeah, 2 snowflake kind of things. And they just kind of hang out in the plans, and they sort of, you can have them constant, or you can have them the lights going out from the center, like
it looks like a firework.
Yes. That's how it is.
Yeah, there we go. We'll maybe we'll do a video of it when we get back.
Yeah.
One evening, get a little setup.
So much fun though.
I'm sure we'll get rated by 1 negative ninny, but that's okay. That's a topic for another day. Dollar store fine for those lights. Nice.
That's great.
That's really cool. So so that was yesterday was shopping, and today was setting stuff up.
Yeah.
Looks really, really good. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
I even got a Christmas tree shaped rosemary.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Tree from Eric's mom, and it's. I guess that it's like a bunch of, it's like a little bushy thing, but then like they took the rosemary and wrapped it around to make a sort of conical shape. So it looks like a Christmas tree, and it smells really good. So since we're trying to, work toward getting a non-toxic house, or try to limit toxic chemicals in our house, we have that instead of like maybe having like the spray air fresheners and
right.
Like
have
that.
Something that's natural.
Yeah.
Well, something else we bought. Another plant we bought yesterday was the pine.
It was a lemon. It's a lemon cypress, and that's in the bedroom.
And it really does. When you touch that pine, it's very citrusy. It smells like lemon oil.
Yes,
that's what's
like a lemon essential oil.
Like a zest.
Yeah,
and it's very refreshing, very, very comforting. So that was pretty damn cool. So so now moving away from the Gardyn and the plants and the Christmas stuff, we figured out. Well, I got off the Mounjaro in the summertime because we literally got priced out. And one thing I noticed after being off for about a month and a half is that my resting heart rate was slowing down, which is good. And my resting heart rate is on average 10 to 15 beats slower than it was when I was on Mounjaro. So my doc replaced my Mounjaro with a once-a-day pill, Januvia. And it wasn't having well that much of an effect, and it was mostly out of pocket because my insurance only covered a minimal part of it. However, this past week, I've been on it now for about 2 months, 2.5 months. This past week, it seems that what do you call it? The therapeutic.
You've reached a therapeutic dose of.
I was therapeutic dose.
Your therapeutic level in your blood now.
And
because it seems to be really holding the sugar.
I woke up one night, my blood sugar was low. I was like, well, this doesn't happen anymore. And maybe it's my skin is not working right. I got to be careful. But it was doing the same. Actually, last night, if you're a diabetic, I was waking up and it was kept on going below 70, but it was like stay at like 69, 68. So I was like, all right, back to sleep. Then it went off, and I looked at my watch, and it was like it went from low blood sugar alert to low blood sugar warning. I went, oh geez, my blood sugar was 53, so I had to have a little applesauce. But it's good to know that I have another medication that is suppressing my blood sugar pretty much as effectively as Mounjaro.
Well, and one that also doesn't bring the side effects that you were experiencing on Mounjaro.
The Mounjaro had the side effects of nausea, which I would get frequently, especially a day or two after taking my weekly dose. A lot of heartburn. It wasn't the easiest. It was effective right from the start, don't get me wrong. It was a magical injection. But this seems to be easier on my heart rate and my stomach. There seems to be less side effects, which is good to know. Tom, we were just at the store and I smelled a bar of lemon soap and really wanted to eat it. And also, it looks like Tom and Tammy are looking at 6 to 10 inches of snow.
Oh my gosh!
On Monday. We're looking at rain in the Poconos. We're going to probably go up to the Poconos tomorrow, and we'll be driving in rain. I don't mind driving in rain, as long as it's not like a monsoon.
Yeah.
But regular rain is actually kind of peaceful, which means, according to my watch, I'll probably be sleeping on the ride up. I get into the zone, I guess, and my watch thinks I'm sleeping. So, but I'm very happy that my medication has reached this kind of level with my blood sugar, because like tonight we ate very, very well, very low carb, homemade
salad. Yeah, we've been trying to watch that and really reduce,
And what's the brand name of the chicken tenders that we're getting?
Good. I think it's called Real Good.
Real Good. So Real Good, they're breaded tenders, but they're not breaded with.
They're breaded with chickpeas.
Yeah,
I think.
And it's a very,
which is great because it also adds like another level of protein to it.
Yeah, so they're very good. They're very tasty, and they're on par usually. You can, especially if they get them on sale, like with
like a Tyson,
buying a Tyson or a Purdue, and that's pretty damn good. We've been very happy with that. So tonight's salad had I think 6 different types of greens in it. Red onion. We didn't grow the red onion.
Mm-hmm.
Tomatoes. We don't have. These are the heirloom mini tomatoes. We don't grow them, but when our tomatoes start coming in, we'll be using our own fresh tomatoes with it. What I'd like to do is I'd like to add green onions to the mix at some point. So we can
and black beans.
But I'm talking about to grow. We can't grow black beans.
Oh, to grow. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about the salad.
No. I want to get more stuff that we actually grow in that salad. I think that's kind of important for since we have that.
And I want to look up how to make that dressing. We'll have to look up see what it was called. It was some sort of agave. Was it agave lime or something like
Oh,
that?
and we had it on
Yeah,
one
on
of
the
the
salads
on
and
one of the
from
burrito
yes,
bowls from what Mucho Burrito.
yes.
So
And so I want to learn how to make that so that this way we can replicate it.
like unofficially, we have like an unofficial rule of like one fast food meal a week is like the max. It's like your treat. Like you do
Mm-hmm.
a Wendy's or a Burger King or one of the other chains, and just we find that we can split a large fry, and that keeps the stuff a bit more controlled. But we found other locations. Usually the Mexican food has options to get a salad or a bowl as opposed to a burrito wrap or shells for tacos, and you can really control what you're eating that way. You can control your carbs.
Yeah, and you can put a lot more vegetables in there.
Yes, it really has been working out very well for us. We've been really enjoying that. So uh, like I said, don't want to call it cheat meal, but just allow yourself one meal that's kind of out of parameters per week like that, and maybe we'll do one or two meals depending on what our schedule is too.
Right.
If we're out of the house a lot, sometimes it means, all right, what's the Miller's Ale House? What can I eat that's going to be healthier
Mm-hmm.
choices? Which is what we've been doing. We've been pretty good at that, I gotta say.
Yeah.
I can't complain.
Soup and salad.
Uh,
Yeah.
Tom wants to use his newly fixed snowblower.
Oh, that's exciting.
So I just read an article to Rach earlier today that Central Park has not received a measurable amount of snow since February of 2022, which means, and that makes sense, 2023. I don't know I know that we went out and we had to salt, but I don't know if we got even an inch of snow last year. It was very non precipity, which the prior year was a decent amount of snow. We had just gotten our car,
Mm-hmm.
and it was fun putting it into the snow gear.
Yes.
It's like we got snow gear. We don't care about. Oh, they think they plowed us in. Ho, ho,
And I
ho,
was like, "Are
ho.
you gonna turn on the red button?" It's like this big red light comes out of it.
It's like yes. Uh, uh, Tammy, Morningstar plant-based food is so good. You can't tell it's
Mm.
not real meat. Like they have
Oh.
corn dogs that are super tasty. We've tried some of the we've tried the Impossible Whopper.
Yeah, Morningstar's a little
Different, right? They're
different.
not they're
Yeah,
not the fake they're not the
they're
fake
not
rib meat.
yeah. They're not trying to go on the pretense that they're meat, you know.
Okay. Grandma is green onion hack. Buy some organic ones. Cut the tops off. The rest of the plant put in water. Get the roots growing. Then transfer to a pot of soil. Put in the window, and they grow no problem.
Hey.
Hey, well, the thing is, like our window of plants is already full of plants. Mostly cactus plants, so those things aren't going to die.
Mm-hmm.
We're very successful with our succulents and cactus plants. And when I married Rach, she brought
A ton of aloe.
I mean, a lifetime of aloe.
And it keeps giving.
Yes. So actually, that might actually be. Did you check to see if aloe is helpful with post radiation?
There was mixed things about that. But I will definitely ask when I
Ah.
go on Monday. I tried to ask the other day, and they were like, "Oh, you'll get the list of everything on Monday. You know, when you go on Friday."
So we're not gonna, in other words, the answer is we have no information.
Yeah, so I was like, "Can I get a cream?" And she's like, "Kind of prepare my skin for this thing." And they're like, "No, you can't use cream 4 hours before treatment, and like you can use it after. You can use it,
Right.
as long as you want. Just don't put it on 4 hours within 4 hours when
Right.
you go there. But I don't know. Some people were saying that it's saying like that they tell you not to put the aloe, and then but not sure why. Maybe because it would sting. I don't know. But I will ask if natural aloe would be something. Aloe, like direct from the plant, would be something that I could put on. You know.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
that's just
Because that's always been a cooling thing, and I use it for sunburn.
right. But man, we've got aloe. We don't even have the aloe we used to have.
No,
But we've got
we've
aloe.
curtailed it.
Well, Rach has learned to like cactus plants because she has one plant that will certainly make an appearance in the future celebration. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I don't want to ruin a good surprise, so I'll just leave that one in the wind for later. Now, so Rach, you got your next Friday. You got what they call the simulation.
So I had simulation.
Oh, you had the simulation
on Monday, and then on Friday it's more films, like and another simulation, like another like run through, of like going in the machine and making sure that I guess making sure like in the physical space where I'm going to be
right
at the hospital has the markings right and that I'm lined up properly. So
Rach got her tattoos.
Yeah, I did. And I was like, that's all it is.
Yeah. I mean, they'll fade after.
I was like, oh man, I have to hunt
years.
for it, Well, there's 5 of them.
I had 4.
Yeah, I have 4 on my back because I'm going to be prone during it, and then 1 on the side of my breast.
So I had 1 like right around here. Which I don't think it can be found.
And it's so hard to tell because they are they're almost like the size of a freckle.
Right.
Not even.
Yeah, but I had like 1 here, 1 under my belly button.
Yeah, and I thought black would like really stick out on my skin. I was like, well, it's not really that bad.
Yeah, Yes, they really do mark you, and the reason is because when you get put onto the bench or laid out,
so they want it to be pinpoint accuracy within millimeters. So when you are having this done, like they get you into position and they try to get you as relaxed as possible so that you go in there and you relax and your body would fall the same way each time that you do it. But unfortunately, it generally doesn't work that everybody's body falls the same way, so they have to do a lot of adjusting. And so like when you're in there, you'll hear them calling out like just like a bunch of different numbers, and then like they're adjusting you and coaching you not to help.
Oh yeah.
Because if you try to help, you're gonna knock it off more than what they would knock it off.
Yeah.
You'll make it worse for them and longer. So but yeah, they need those to make sure that they're lining you up and that they can follow the treatment plan the way that it was meant to be.
Yeah, I mean, like I went through radiation. Oh God, how many years ago? 16 years ago, I guess. And I had 22 or 23 sessions, but it lasted longer than 5 weeks because the location I went to, the machine usually crapped out about every week and a half, 2 weeks, and they had to bring somebody in to fix it and whatever appointment time I had, and this seems to be going to be different for Rach, crossing my fingers for her and me. Is that usually for my appointments, it was always late because something always got screwed up, or somebody didn't show up on time. So by the time it got to you, you were now 40 minutes late and whatever.
I think I'm just going to try and like do my best. It's going to be like, it's something I obsess over. Like I have to make sure I get in the right position from Drum Street, and that I'm in it, and that they have minimal adjustments to make on me, and help them out as much as I can, but
by not helping out.
Not helping out.
I'm gonna help. They're just hoping not to help, but I'm
I'm helping by not helping.
There you go. So that Friday is the
Is the Port Films,
right,
and
and
then
the last run through.
yeah, and then on Monday, the
Monday
11th,
it
I
starts.
start to get the real deal.
She's gonna get her superpowers, man.
Yeah.
Her superpowers.
I don't think the telekinesis is gonna work out because I can't really control my eyes.
Oh, that'd be great.
I'm like, oh shit! I meant for that to go over there.
Did I?
But maybe
Did
my
I?
hands, maybe the power will come into my hands,
Uh-huh.
and I'll be able to like part things, or I don't know.
Did
We'll
I?
see what comes.
Did I do that? Oh God. So all right, I think we did the catch up aspect.
Yeah.
So now we're gonna dive into denial is not a river in Egypt. And why I sure I took the joke out of context, and I'm sure I screwed it up. But I'm very good at that. But
Denial ain't just a river.
is not a river. Denial is not a river in Egypt. The Nile is, but denial is not.
Right.
So here's the thing. There are many types of denial.
But why don't we start first
okay.
by explaining denial? Like, denial is something that everyone will have had some experience with themselves.
Right.
It's a normal coping mechanism that we have in order to keep ourselves safe in the world. But what happens sometimes is that sometimes we get very dependent on a certain specific one or small cluster of coping mechanisms, to the point that they stop serving us well, and that it can be harmful to us. So,
okay.
Yeah, I guess that's how I kind of see that. Like denial is like a normal part of our grieving process,
Right.
things like that. So, yeah, it's just when we lack a variety of coping mechanisms, is where we get into trouble.
Well, there's samples of denial in the Bible, in the New Testament.
Mm-hmm.
After Jesus is arrested, one of the apostles is asked, "Do you know this man?" I deny, because like Rach said, it's a protective mechanism trying to protect you, and it's sometimes it's instinctual, sometimes it isn't, but you're trying whatever you're trying to protect, you're not necessarily doing the right thing.
Right. Or there's denial that, like, when we think of denial, it's often like, we think of the denial that we see, that's often like, just deny everything, it'll be okay.
Right.
That kind of thing, which is a conscious denial.
Mm-hmm.
So in that vein,
Well,
it's like you're using it, and it's a conscious thing that you're doing, and a certain way of living that you've adapted.
But at that point, there's a point though where even conscious denial can become your new reality. That
Where it gets kind of dicey is
it
where
gets
you
dicey.
start to believe
you believe that
your denial,
right.
or that there's certain like problems that you have that you can't see it. Like, right. For example, when I was asked back for the second diagnostic mammogram, right, or the sonogram.
Mm-hmm.
In the sonogram, my first reaction when they asked me to come back, I was like, oh,
they're trying to take money from me.
It's like, oh, they were able to do it last year. Now it's going to be every year. They're just going to call me back so that they can make that little money, whatever. Okay, whatever, I'll go, because I do that, But, as I was on the cot and they were the sonographer was placing the wand over my affected area. It felt like a bruise, and so like that's where my denial started to break.
Okay.
Like, oh shit, maybe there is something there. That's weird, kind of thing. So I just like I couldn't wait for her to turn her back so I could like try and feel it, No, and then yes, I was like, oh shit, there is something there,
Well, listen, real life for me, before I was diagnosed with Hodgkin's, literally, I'm at work, I'm having lunch at my desk, and over my lunch, my neck started growing what we would call in New York a goiter.
But they call it goiter everywhere.
Yeah, but you got to say it the right way. You got to say goiter. You just can't say goiter. No, it's a goiter. And the friend I worked with, fellow Sergeant Michelle, was like, Eric, what the heck? I go, what? Oh, it must be a reaction to the food I'm eating. Literally, it's just what. And what did I do for the next week and a half at work when my neck was swollen? I didn't want to answer questions. I would wear golf shirts or polo shirts, and I would never button it up. Well, I would button it up so nobody could see the neck because I wasn't gonna. I was in denial, and it took a good friend of mine, Kenny, same person that introduced me to Dungeons and Dragons and got me into this hobby.
Go Kenny.
Go Kenny. He's like, hey, listen, I have a good doctor who's very relaxed. You don't even need to make an appointment. You just gotta walk in during his office hours. I'm like, sure? He goes, yeah. And I walked in. He took one look at me. He diagnosed it right away. And how do I know he diagnosed it right away? Because he sent me for x-rays. And the x-rays weren't of my neck. The x-rays were of my abdomen. Because I got into an argument with the x-ray technician. He's like, well, I can see
you
your
mean
neck.
Sonography?
No, x-ray.
X-rays.
X-rays.
Oh.
And he's like, why am I doing an x-ray of your abdomen if you have this swelling in your neck? I go, I don't know, but that's what the doc said. I go, this is what, and so he did it. Well, why? Because my doc was actually looking to see if the tumors had spread. He knew what he was looking at.
Yeah.
And that was eye-opening to me because my mind for a week and a half was, this will go away on its own. It doesn't go away on its own. You have to, a lot of times when you're in denial, you need somebody else to bring you out of it or bring you in that proper direction.
Right, to show the reality.
And it's not easy, and sometimes, the thing is, a lot of times denial and lies work hand in hand, right? Like a denial, if you're denying yourself that, oh, there's no way this is a tumor, I'm just going to you're lying to yourself, right? Maybe you're lying to others, right? Because you're trying to hide it, but it's active denial. Denial and lying often go, or pretty much necessarily go hand in hand. But it's whether you're lying to yourself or you're lying to others, lying to legal authorities.
Right.
There's
and the
many
difference
ways.
Is there's a difference between conscious and subconscious.
Yes.
Denial.
Oh, definitely.
Because it's all about your intention.
Right.
We don't have intention.
No.
Like to lie to ourselves or not take care of ourselves.
No, but you do have some of that. It's the we talk about ostriches put their heads in the sand, right? Because they don't want to see what. I don't know if it's actually true. We always heard that when I was a kid. Don't be an ostrich with your head in the sand. That's like, what does that mean? Don't be trying to ignore what's around you. Don't be trying to deny reality. Deal with it.
Right.
And denial is certainly, for many people in many circumstances, it's a safety mechanism.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Rach and I have uh, we have an overlap in the population that we have experienced when we were working.
Right. And then there's also a difference between someone experiencing denial that can be fixable.
Mm-hmm.
I guess also, where I'm going, like delusion.
Right.
When you're stuck in a very fixed belief about the world or about a certain situation, when you can't shake it and just everything confirms your belief that these ones are banging on your ceiling, your neighbors are banging on your
Right.
ceiling, they all have a conspiracy against you, that the government's in the house next door and they're sending beams through the walls to, like all these things that we've heard a
Right.
lot. um but that's a fixable thing with medication, but it's different than denial, because you might try to show the reality to the person, but the person is not going to be able to.
Yeah, there's no delusion and denial are
Yeah.
they can overlap and they can intercept, but they are separate. So JR, I have unconscious denial about my health issues. I blame my mother's hypochondria for my unbalanced view of my medical problems. And I can see that too.
Mm-hmm.
I've certainly known hypochondriacs, and when you know hypochondriacs and you're around them, your reaction to it becomes everything is nothing. you go the exact opposite.
Yeah. I mean, my mother is somebody who never liked going to doctors.
Right.
And it's like, but had you been going, you could have addressed this, that, and the other.
I mean, honestly, one of the weird things about this is that the best thing that happened to me with Hodgkin's was actually having a regular doctor to go to, because I didn't have one. It's like, oh, okay, well, I'm really sick. I've got walking pneumonia. I guess I go to a doc in a box, because this is what you did a lot, and that's a whole healthcare issue we could talk about.
Oh yeah.
Tammy, I also think it can come from learned behavior if you have a parent or close person who also displays this kind of behavior.
Yes, exactly, learned behavior.
Yes.
If mom and dad didn't have great coping mechanisms, you might not be in a position to be able to develop them.
Yeah. So Tammy, JR, I get the mom with hypochondria. My mom so has that, but I get real about my own health issues. But her health issues make me question other people's health issues. Is it real? And that is certainly an issue. But that's like, hypochondriacs are like the opposite of denial. They believe that everything that goes anything. Well,
denial would work differently for them.
Right?
Yeah. Like for them, like everything's a crisis.
Yeah.
And then it's also like, if like between like hypochondriasis and then like malingering, like is there secondary gains behind being in the sick role?
They're a malingerer. I remember such talk being thrown around at my job about people that were out long-term sick. Are they malingering?
Right.
So, and my job actually had doctors on staff. If you were out sick for longer than 2 days, you were seeing an apartment doctor who didn't know. If they gave you a prescription, you were 1 in 100,000, because they
held medicine
They
hostage.
They told you to go to your own doctor for that shit.
Oh, that I would expect.
Yeah. They were just there to say.
Because it's an occupational doctor.
They have real practices.
Well, yeah, outside.
Yes.
But in their role, it wasn't.
Tammy, my mom was in denial that a hangnail was not a big issue. I don't know how I came out how I did because she slathered me with attention if I had the slightest sniffle.
Uh,
You know, and that's part of it. We all are a product of our our environment. That environment is our raising. It's the friends you chose and what that chose you. It's your schooling, it's your work environment, your social.
right.
It's this,
Biology and the environment play together.
yeah, it all
And
certainly
environment can
does.
change biology too, like trauma and stuff like that.
Hmm. But the thing with denial is that, and again, and when I talk about denial in this case, I'm talking about denial where it extends to you're lying, right? You're denying the truth. The problem is a lot of times when you get confronted with the actual truth, you got to build a bigger lie. You got to build a bigger denial. You got to dig a deeper hole. It isn't one and done. It
Yeah,
gets
it's
worse.
interesting how certain things intertwine with some people. Um, because it's like some of the things that the person might say, um, you're sort of like, you're lying.
Yeah.
And then it's like, you know, would I sit and tell a delusional person that they're a liar? No. But, this person clearly might lie, not might, but definitely lies,
Right.
and knowingly so.
Yeah.
And
But
then there is the delusional matter also, so it's like delusional content and being a liar. It makes life really difficult for like people to help you or
to deal with you
or have a relationship or
because
yeah.
and and listen, Rach and I, like I was alluding to earlier, we dealt with some of the same population, just in different circumstances, and a lot of that was
Different roles.
population that, what do they call it now?
Justice involved.
Justice involved.
Yeah.
But a lot of people that I would deal with, especially when I was dealing with narcotics, were repeat offenders.
Yes.
Some of them I personally got to know pretty well because I would see them constantly, and you'd be like, John, what the hell? You told me you were going to be clean. What the hell are you doing here? Oh, I'm not. I didn't do nothing. I was just here visiting a friend. Like, John, you live up in Rockland County. You have no friends in the South Bronx. The only friends in the South Bronx you have are the ones that sell you drugs. Okay, where's the heroin? I don't. It's like, dude, we already know your denial isn't helping. But there is a mentality, often, and we've seen this many a time, where you deny stuff that you don't even need to deny because personally, a lot of the justice involved.
Well, right. Your default setting
Is
to
deny.
not be truthful.
Right.
Yeah.
I could look bad if I admit to this, so deny it. Well, we're gonna deny
They're
it.
asking me because it could be something bad.
Or I could, it could make me look bad. I don't want to look bad, so I'm gonna deny it. But now you keep on building and digging a deeper hole to keep your denial valid in your eyes. Nobody else is believing it, but your hole is getting deeper. And again, it's the same thing with lies. I had one lie when I was in junior high school, which was the stupidest lie because I was trying to. My friends, it was like, I got a Spider-Man number 15 at home. I was like, I hear all this bullshit about comic books. So I'm like, I gotta have something good. So I know I've got Conan issue number 1, which would have been really cool if I had it. But of course, everybody wants to see it. So now you're like, now you got to build. You got to. The problem with lying and the problem with denials is that often you got to start now building on top of the initial to, oh, well, I can't because actually my father has it in the safety deposit box and I can't. No. And you make these bizarre stories up that make no actual sense because of this one little thing that you wanted to have people believe about you, whether it's denying something or lying about something. And that little bit requires so much effort to keep alive. And it never lasts. It never works. You always get caught in this shit. So the sorry, justice, but prison mentality is when confronted, did you do this? I didn't do it.
Well, in order to adapt to that setting, that's often,
Yeah.
what people learn they need to do.
Yeah. I mean, we had that happen when we were going to the Poconos shortly after we started. I think it was before we were married. When the car got hit by a church van.
Oh no, we were driving up to the Bronx to my apartment with
Oh, was your?
Chris.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah,
knew
we
we
were
were
on
on
the
a
Major
Deegan.
Deegan Expressway.
Yeah. And this person hits my. I'm in my lane. The person comes, hits the back of my car, comes out and yells at me for hitting him. And I'm like, dude, you hit the back of my car. How did I hit you? Well, you hit me. And it was a cop actually already had an accident at the location. And I saw the damage to my car was minimal. My car was old. And I was like, listen, she was watching too. I go, do you see this? She's like, yeah, what the hell's up with that? He hit you. I go, I don't want an accident report. I got places to go. My damage is on a 10-year-old car. I'm fine with it.
Mm-hmm.
But and I said to her, I go, but his attitude right now and his going off, I can guarantee you his license is suspended if we go through with this and makes a report.
Like, look into that, girl.
I go, his license is suspended. So if you want to make an arrest, she's like, not really. I go, his attitude is the attitude of somebody who has spent years having to deny everything in the institution.
Yes.
And Rach and I left that situation, both of us going, wow, that was somebody who spent time. I go, yeah, upstate, not local, up top.
Up top.
It wasn't local. It was
up
down
north.
here. So back to our comments. JR, yeah, she definitely doctor shopped. I have the greatest doctor, and when she moved her practice, I followed.
No.
My two girls also have her. The right fit is so important.
Yes.
I gotta say, I am blessed with some of the best doctors, more doctors.
Oh my God, yeah.
More doctors than I'd ever want to see. And the old me be like, how many doctors? But they are so good, so on top, and so personable.
Mm-hmm.
That's really spot on.
They have good bedside manner.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
RPG Grandma, I know I am still recovering from COVID after effects, so not much I can do, but suck that up and soldier on. Hope it gets better. Lungs do seem to be getting better, so trick now is don't get pneumonia again.
There you go.
Oh, I've had pneumonia twice in my life. I don't want to have trick. Okay, I'll put it that way. Not a fun experience at all. Tammy, in my middle school day treatment program where I taught, I called that one-upping. Mm-hmm. When you feel like you have to be on top. I used to show them the hand pile we would do in softball, where you would put your hand on top of the other people's and someone would put their hand on top and it never ends. Mm-hmm. One-upping doesn't get you anywhere. And that is so effing true. At some point, when you keep on trying to do this one-upping, your denial or your lies are going to get to the point where it's ridiculous. Where whatever authority figures you're dealing with, whether it's friends, parents, family, law enforcement, the judicial system, wherever you are going to get to the point where it's like, holy fucking shit. How stupid do you think I am? It's the reason why we do interventions with people that are addicted, right? Because they're in denial. And
they can't see the forest for the trees necessarily. And
right.
Denial also helps to protect the addiction, which, it's something that helps them. That they
Yes,
started using
to cope.
to cope. Yeah.
You know, I mean, in my position in internal affairs, I got to know a number of addicts, usually of opioids, because they
Yeah.
started uh, injured, line of duty, active
Right,
cops,
with medication
and they
and
started with
then
medication, and they got addicted, and then they started abusing the medication, and then when they got cut off from the medication, then they started buying heavier narcotics like heroin on the street, and they were in denial. And
well,
that was
right, once their addiction escalated
yes,
and they needed more Percocets and like couldn't buy enough Percocet in the street,
yep,
to negate their symptoms of withdrawal, then they up it to the heroin and
yep.
change the route by how they consume it.
Oh, Glenn is at the Guess Who tonight.
Oh,
All right, let's do two thumbs up.
nice.
We get fireworks.
Here, let's see.
No, it's not. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, okay.
There we go, Glenn. Those are fireworks for you and your lovely wife.
Happy birthday, Becky.
Yes. JR, my middle school, I have Conan number one behavior was driven by an extremely intense emotional belief I was inadequate. I grew out of it, or at least the lying quickly in high school. Thankfully, I
Good.
stopped. Same with me. Now, junior high school, mind you, I also had the issue that I was growing spurts, and we were middle class, which meant you didn't have a lot of money, and I would always get my pants usually like 3 inches too long, and my mother would do the cuffs up. So then you'd have high waters. So then I'd be like in the auditorium at school with my pocket knife, cutting the hem out. But then my high waters are now jeans that have faded.
That are afraid at the bottom.
No, that
Hmm.
are now dark at the bottom with a rim around
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Ah, God. Actually, gaming, D&D was what allowed me to make good friends in high school, and I owe much of my future success in life to gaming, and I really cannot. It because listen, when you game, denial gets your character killed, right? I mean, if you deny what's going on, it's like you gotta deal with the reality of
If
the
you stay
game.
stuck in denial, it's
Yeah.
like those glasses that
Oh, the Doug
that
glasses,
dog gave in his game with the
Doug Kovacs.
where it's basically like you got high and you stayed high and you
Yes.
couldn't reason with the outside world, but everything was great. Um, but your character can't affect anything in the game.
Right.
Yeah.
So for me, gaming was the tool that I didn't have to brag. I didn't have to make up lies or deny being a geek, right? And that was part of it too. You found others like you, so it's like, I mean, when I was in ninth grade, I was the librarian, and when I say librarian, I was the one everybody came to borrow Michael Moorcock or Fritz Lieber or Tolkien or any of the other books that I was reading. People came to me to borrow my books, so um, I found my importance by being a geek. And these weren't necessarily geeks borrowing from me, but they found these books to be really a lot of fun.
Oh,
So it was kind of cool.
sweet.
You know, that was my way to high school success. Grandma, people are naturally risk takers, and most of us use denial to help justify their risk taking, and they end up arrested eventually.
That's quite true too.
Yeah, I'm not going to get in trouble. Oh, this really isn't that wrong. I mean, I got in trouble in my summers in the Poconos. I will certainly admit to that. I never interacted with police in New York City, but in the Poconos, I was probably on some list. And Tammy, and I bet D&D let you be yourself while you were able to play a character.
Yeah.
It was a very accepting group. Yeah, definitely. or be able to play something a little bit out of yourself too. And
Mm.
that was something that, you know, what other games allowed you, or what other aspects of life or other entertainment
Try
besides,
things on.
besides like, watching movies,
Mhm.
and movies, by the way, just so you know, low blood sugar alert. That's okay. It probably it's around 69,
Your
70.
phone didn't go off.
No, this went off.
Oh,
My watch is my watch. Although my phone might be, I don't know. I might have to check some settings on my phone. Yeah, we'll do this. We'll do this live. We'll see what we're at. Sorry, I was off by 168.
mm-hmm.
But you can see the graph for today has been nice and controlled. And my average for the day, 101.
Nice.
Holy crap. That's like a non diabetic's numbers. Don't ask me how that's happening. I'm eating healthy, but not that healthy. I'm trying to be better. RPG Grandma, properly deadly RPG teaches you about reality.
Mm.
Definitely. JR, that's part of why I'm alienated by Wizards of the Coast. Gaming was my radical acceptance zone, not a place to claim offense and kick people out.
Mm.
And that's actually a pretty good point.
Yeah.
And I people accuse the OSR of gatekeeping, and I honestly think that the gatekeeping is happening by WotC. I mean, if you go to an OSR convention, I don't think I've ever seen conventions as open to people from all backgrounds and all walks of life, sitting at a table and just enjoying the game and not, I don't know, counting. Oh well, do we have a disabled person here? Do we have this? You're not looking to you just want
Check the
players,
boxes. Yeah.
right? So if and if we happen to be playing with somebody who's I don't know, one of the marginalized genders, sometimes sometimes you don't. It's never an issue, But with WotC now, it seems like all this stuff is checking boxes, and when you check boxes, something that was done as entertainment suddenly becomes something that's well, if you're checking boxes, you're only checking boxes for money. Honestly, you think it's going to monetize your stuff in a better way because you're making sure that this, and this, as opposed to putting out the best product. Does that make sense?
Think so.
I've had a number of people, which means more than two, reach out to me in the last 24 hours and ask me not just my opinion on Goodman Games' upcoming indie games workshop seminar and their initial all old white guys photo, or what they put up on social media, and they're like, I want to respond to this, and the response is always like, why is this such an issue when all we want to do is just game and learn how to make better games, and these are the best people to show us. Why are we checking boxes? But society has become a society of box checking in certain circles. Totally off topic, but that happens. What's your grandma? A highly judgmental environment,
Mm.
a highly manipulative environment, and a
Yes.
highly stressful environment. Yeah, all that and more. Honestly, I get paid for years. I get paid for years to work in that sort of environment, and I don't
Mm.
need it at my game table. Yeah, uh, I that started right before I retired. It became a whole issue, and the pushback, surprisingly enough, wasn't from old white guys like me that were supervisors. It was a lot of the minority detectives that were like, why are we pushing this agenda? This is not how you deal with people on the street. Why are we worried? We all know, the Sarge knows how to deal with people. We don't need 2-day lesson on how to properly address people based upon their gender or racial
What was that,
background.
customer service training?
Oh, it was. Oh God, that was 2015, early 2016, and I saw the writing on the wall. I was like, my timing is perfect to leave.
Mm.
It wasn't about doing your job or doing your job well. It was doing your job to make sure you checked off certain boxes.
Mm.
So it could go into a report. That never works. Wow. Well, being that my blood sugar went off, and we're at the hour mark. Graham, I'm sorry you got years before you can leave. Uh,
Aw.
I actually timed my leave down to the day. My last day of work was St. Patty's Day, 2016. And that was a reason. It was St. Patty's Day. But I ran time until that July for my 20th anniversary. I had to go in one day for an administrative day to turn my shite in. I don't regret leaving at all. So, on that note, if you work in PC Central, that's what my job was becoming. Um, on that note, we are going to bid thee all adieu. Thank you so much for spending your evening with us. We really do appreciate it. I don't know what our topic will be for next week, but usually the week decides the topic.
Yeah,
for
we'll
us.
find something.
We'll find something
I'm
entertaining.
quite sure.
So, as always, be safe, be well. God bless. Roll the dice, roll them well. I'll be back tomorrow with some random video when I get to the Poconos. We'll see. Maybe I have a rant in me. I don't know. I don't. People like my rants, but I don't know if I do. All right, folks. On that note,
Take care.
good night.
Night.
Laters.